Hi everyone, this is Joy for Honeybee Stamps. My card that I have made for you today is a pretty dramatic card using the Sealed with a Kiss stamp and coordinating die. So I'm going to start by having a piece of white cardstock in my MISTI, and I'm inking up the lips from the Sealed with a Kiss stamp set. And I'm going to use 3 different colors. I'm using Distress Oxide inks for this. Distress inks would work well also. So this first color was Spun Sugar. The next color I'm using is Worn Lipstick, and then the last color is Candied Apple. I think the MISTI is perfect for something like this because I do need to ink these up twice to get a good solid image. And so it's easy just to clean it off in between each time that I move the lips with the MISTI. I'm able to just stamp each stamp twice and everything is held in place. So again, this is the final color. This is Candied Apple, and I just think these 3 colors together are so fun and so pretty. And this is going to be on top of a black background, so it's very dramatic and very pretty. Now I'm using the coordinating dies. I'm just using some low-tack tape, some Scotch removable tape, adhering down that coordinating die, and I'm going to die cut out all of these lip images. This is a really easy way to make a bunch of cards just by stamping and die cutting really quick. It is a great way to make a ton of these cute Sealed with a Kiss cards. So now I'm adding some foam tape behind each one of the lips. I do want them to have some dimension. You also could adhere some directly to your background and then others with foam tape, but I opted for all of them to have foam tape. I have this little cluster at the bottom. I've got a couple at the top and then that one singular one. When you have an odd number of images, it is just much more pleasing to the eye, especially if it's random. Having the odd number really just, your brain likes it. It just looks good. It makes you feel good. So I'm just kind of turning these all kinds of wonky, different from each other. And I'm going to trim off the excess once I'm all done adhering everything down. So I will trim that off around the sides. Now in my MISTI, I have a piece of vellum, and I'm using the large stamp from the Smooch stamp set. Of course, it says Smooch. I prepped my vellum with an anti-static powder tool. I used VersaMark clear embossing ink and stamped my image. And then I'm going to use white embossing powder. Now make sure that your heat tool is very hot before you take it to your vellum because you really don't want to warp it. So mine was super hot, so it melted it really, really quick. Now I'm using the coordinating dies for the Smooch stamp. I started with the largest die, and I actually end up changing my mind once I have it cut out. I wanted a little less vellum around the outside. So as you can see there, it is super, super cute. But again, I just wanted a little less vellum. So I'm going to come back in with the second largest die. I'm just going to line that up carefully around where I've done the heat embossing. I'm just using some low-tack tape. This is Scotch removable tape. And I'm going to run that through my die cut machine once I get everything lined up. And then I just have a little bit of a smaller shadow around the stamped and embossed image. So now that that's done, I'm going to adhere this down. Now I want this to also have some dimension, so I'm using foam tape behind it, and I'm making sure that the foam tape is hidden behind the stamped image, definitely where it does not show through on the vellum. And I'm lining up these pieces of foam tape so it will only be sitting on the black cardstock in the background. Then the lips and the sentiment will have the same amount of dimension from top to bottom. But doesn't that look super, super cute? I love how this card turned out. Now I'm going to come in with the other sentiment, and it has a little bit of foam tape on that, so this has even more dimension than the rest of the card. And it says, "Here comes a," and then of course you've got your smooch. Now I'm coming in with the Crystal Mix Dewdrops and the Reflection Dewdrops. In the Crystal Mix, I'm using the really tiny, tiny ones. The Reflection Dewdrops are the other sizes, and I've just scattered those all around and used the liquid glue to adhere those. This is adhered to a white A2 size card base, so it gives it a nice little matte for contrast. And look at how pretty this card turned out. It is super, super dramatic. Has a ton of dimension. It's a lot of fun. And like I said before, you could make a ton of these cards really quick. You don't even have to do any white heat embossing. Just stamp the sentiment and you're good to go. Thank you guys so very much for watching. You can find all of these products listed and linked below that I used for this card. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.